The nation's capital just got dragged into the spotlight, and what happened was pure chaos. Congress grilled D.C. officials on crime and safety, but instead of answers, America got excuses, meltdowns, and exposed hypocrisy. When asked about keeping fathers in homes, officials shrugged. When pressed on crime stats, they got caught cooking the books. Nancy Mace had to ask the mayor what a woman is. Well, the city burns. Council Chair Mendelson mocked the National Guard as bored. The same guy who defunded police then called them to his house when protesters showed up. FBI Director Kash Patel destroyed Democrats with hard facts while Rashida Tlaib screamed for the second day straight. This is your government imploding. And we've got all the video. Now, a word from our sponsor first. We recently covered a company called Western Star Resources here on the channel, a gold and silver exploration company we believe had serious potential for U.S. expansion. Well, it looks like that move is already in motion. Western Star just signed an MOU with the American Corp to push forward their U.S. growth strategy, and here's where the timing is so important. With domestic demand for precious metals climbing year after year, and with the U.S. government making it clear they want more homegrown exploration instead of relying on foreign supply, companies like Western Star are in a prime position. This is not just about mining. It's about national security, economic stability, and capturing a huge market opportunity. Western Star's expertise, combined with a supportive policy environment, means they've stepped into the U.S. market. They're stepping into the U.S. market under the best possible conditions. Could a huge U.S. expansion be next? I would not bet against it. Western Star Resources is making gold and silver great again. Go ahead and check them out by visiting the link in the description, westernstarresources.com, and we appreciate their support of our program. So I just got a message from a friend of mine who's over at the White House. I think we're going to be finding a lot more news coming out of Memphis very soon. He just told me that he is now going to be embedded with the National Guard down there. And I said, well, how can I get on that ticket? I want to take a ride along with the boys up in Chicago. Let's go to Chirac, baby. I'll do it in a Humvee. A Memphis resident come forward, says if you care about getting tough on crime here in Memphis, you got to support Republicans. Trump is finally saying, yes, Memphis matters.
More about the Democrat Party, in my mind, cares more about the criminal than it does about restoring law and order to our community. And if you care about getting tough on crime here in the city of Memphis, you have got to support Republicans, whether it's Senator Brent Taylor that is trying to clean it up at the state capitol, or if it is even the federal government and President Donald Trump, who is finally saying, yes, Memphis matters. We are going to make Memphis safe again because our local leaders have failed to do so. The Democrat Party has failed its constituents. Donald Trump has to pick up the pieces. And who else is destroying them all? Kash Patel just destroyed a Democrat who said America's less safe under his FBI. Oh, wow. Are we ready for this one? This is 24 hours ago.
That's simply not true. If we were not able to do two things at one time, how would we be seizing record amounts of fentanyl? 23,000 violent felons have been arrested.
Time belongs to the gentlelady.
More than twice as many as last year.
Time belongs to the gentlelady from Georgia.
Thank you very much. And this request basically is, it is an article from Reuters, which quotes law enforcement officers familiar with agents who once covered child exploitation cases, but now focus on immigration child exclusive. Thousands of agents diverted to Trump immigration track down. Mr. Patel, in the short time I have left, your tenure as director of FBI has been somewhat problematic. Americans are left safe, definitely less safe under your watch. You have gutted the FBI's ability to keep safe from domestic terrorism. You have sent FBI agents to conduct traffic stops and round up hardworking immigrants who pose no danger to public safety. People even President Trump referred to as good longtime workers. Your job is to protect and serve the American public.
Time, the gentlelady.
You have spent your time protecting heinous individuals and using the FBI to serve as a political circus. You at times have appeared unequipped.
Time,
this country deserves better, and I yield.
Gentlelady yields back.
May I respond?
Sure can.
Simply put, what is it? Are we failing? If we're failing, how are we arresting 23,000 violent felons? Twice as many as this time last year. Are we failing? Because if we're failing, how are we seizing 1,500 kilograms of meth, 25% increase from last year? Are we failing? Because we captured 4 top 10 FBI most wanted from around the world in 7 months. That's more than the entirety of the last administration. Are we failing? Because we put 1,500 child predators in prison. Are we failing? Because we dismantled 300 human trafficking networks. Which is it? You don't like me, that's fine. But don't you dare disparage the men and women of the FBI that are producing record results in historic fashion to protect this country. They are kicking ass for America, and they're going to continue to do so.
Oh, baby, let's go. Oh, here he is nuking Representative Swalwell.
We've identified 20 of those individuals have been investigated or have had adverse actions. Director, considering that you have identified these people as, quote, government gangsters, will you recuse yourself from making any investigation decisions about these individuals?
Anyone that has been terminated at the FBI has been done so
the
because
question
they failed
again,
to meet the muster
Director,
and their constitutional
I will
obligation.
work on the audio-visual capabilities.
I'm going to borrow your terminology and call bullshit on your entire career in Congress.
I'm reclaiming my time,
It has been a disgrace to the American people.
I'm reclaiming my time.
You can reclaim your time all you want.
Mr. Chairman, you're going to allow a witness to speak, Mr. Swang? Mr. Chairman, would you give
recuse yourself,
The gentleman has no time.
Mr. Chairman, would you admonish the witness not to insult members?
Gentlemen,
20 of those individuals have been investigated or have had adverse.
I'm going to call BS on your entire career in Congress. Let's go. Let's go. I know we got a clip here. Here's Marjorie Taylor Greene. This is just 5 hours ago. Marjorie Taylor Greene, Nick Sortor writes, just took down Jasmine Crockett after she falsely claimed Charlie Kirk's killer was a MAGA Republican. Good God. These people just continue to spew their lies, their disinformation. And that's why Jimmy Kimmel's not working right now. All right, let's watch it.
Grandma says.
Objection attended. I recognize Ms. Crockett for unanimous consent.
Yes, Mr. Chair, since I wasn't allowed equal time to debate, I have a UC. It is from, it looks like Yahoo News. It says, Charlie Kirk suspect's grandma says family is all MAGA.
Without objection, so ordered. Chair recognizes Ms. Greene from Georgia.
Mr. Chair, Miranda, UC as well.
We'll recognize you next time. Chair, Ms. Greene, it's your 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I can assure you that the man, the 22-year-old man, Tyler Robinson, that murdered Charlie Kirk is not MAGA. His family may be Republican, but all of the evidence that is being presented proves that he is a far leftist, very much integrated in online groups that are linked to Antifa. He was in a relationship with a biological male, so-called furry, whatever that is transitioning to be a fake woman. He was not MAGA, not one bit. That is a complete lie, and it's an insult to every single Republican and person that identifies with those type of politics. We will not tolerate it, and that is the exact type of language that is getting many of us death threats day after day, and led to shootings on the baseball field where Steve Scalise was shot. This is what led to President Trump nearly being assassinated this past summer. This is what has led to Charlie Kirk being assassinated. And so I just want to give a warning there. We're not going to tolerate that anymore. You know, something else we're not going to tolerate is crime. On August 11th.
Objection.
Jasmine Crockett getting put in her place. Chuck Fleischman writing that politicians don't want the National Guard, but everyday people want the help because we're the ones suffering.
Memphis President Donald Trump is still laying out plans to deploy the National Guard to Memphis.
The backlash to the plan continues, but one grieving mother says she welcomes the troops. She talked to Angela Brown about why.
Memphis mom Shay Liggins is fighting for more officers to avoid drowning in pain.
I'll never see John have kids, get married.
Her son, John Ryan Ingram, shot and killed in Memphis, and the suspect?
The young man that killed my son was on bail and he had already shot some people.
An unspeakable loss, turning this Memphis mom into an unlikely ally of President Donald Trump. So what you would want to see from the Trump administration is that these National Guard members are in high crime areas where the crime is happening.
Yes, I would. And then I would welcome them to come if they're here in the high crime areas.
The crime picture is...
Yeah, and that's what's happening. Trump's sending the National Guard in. Memphis residents reacting.
We need help. We need help. If it can save one life, I'm happy with it.
People could be concerned that it's not normal to see, militarized people out in the street.
No, it's not. It's not normal, but I mean, if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. They have to do what they can to kind of take back control of the city.
We need
Take back control of the city. People begging for it. James Comer at the GOP oversight hearing on crime and safety in D.C.
I now recognize myself for the purpose of making an opening statement. It's been 1 week since the conclusion of President Trump's historic crackdown on crime in our nation's capital, and the results are in. Since President Trump mobilized the National Guard and took control of the Metropolitan Police Department, violent crime has decreased 39%, robberies are down 57%, and carjackings are down 75%. Over 2,300 people have been arrested. Nearly 950 illegal aliens have been detained by ICE, including 20 gang members from violent terrorist organizations. Sex offenders have been taken off the streets. Major drug trafficking operations have been foiled. Authorities thwarted a planned school shooting, cleared 50 illegal tent encampments, and rescued 7 missing children.
And that's what's coming to Memphis. That's what's coming to Chicago. That's what's going to roll out to other cities. I've never been an advocate for, military intervention, but it certainly has come to the point where Democrats have completely ignored the pleas of the people, and the pleas have reached President Trump's ears. During today's hearing, Representative Glenn Grothman of Wisconsin, a Republican, pressed D.C. officials on what the city's doing to keep fathers in the home. Council Chairman Phil Mendelson replied that no government can force couples to stay together. Well, okay. Here's Washington, D.C. Mayor Bowser opening statement.
Ranking Member Garcia and members of the committee. I'm Muriel Bowser. I'm Mayor of Washington, D.C., and I'm joined by the Chairman of the D.C. Council, Phil Mendelson, and the Attorney General for the district, Brian Schwab. I'm pleased to be here today to report on the state of the district. First, a bit of a primer about my hometown. As you know, in 1973, Congress passed the District of Columbia Home Rule Act, creating a local government with an elected mayor and elected city council. We are represented in this body by a mighty warrior, Eleanor Holmes Norton, but she does not have a vote, and we have no representation in the Senate. D.C. residents are full-blooded, tax-paying Americans. We are a donor state. We give more to the federal government than we get back. We have all the responsibilities of citizenship, but not the most important benefits: representation and full autonomy.
Oh, spare me. Spare me. Trump's cleaning up your house. The House hearing on D.C. crime went off topic as Nancy Mace asked the mayor about LGBTQ issues that led us here.
We noticed the D.C. No, you're literally the mayor of D.C. and you don't know your own code of laws.
Well, I don't know.
All right, one thing we noticed the D.C. code struggles to define is the term woman. So Mayor Bowser, what is a woman?
I'm a woman. Are you a woman?
100%.
Okay.
100%.
I'm a woman. You're looking at one.
Okay, good. No, you're
Really,
literally the mayor.
that's where we're going now. Representative Eli Crane called out the D.C. Council Chair Mendelson for saying the National Guard looked bored.
Being president. Mr. Mendelson, you said in criticism to the National Guard being present in D.C., you said that they looked bored. I'm going to ask you a question, sir. Would you rather have National Guardsmen standing posts around D.C. looking bored but driving down crime, or continue to be ranked in the top 10 in the country in violent crime?
Well, as I was trying to say, depending upon how you look at the data, we don't even place in the top 25. Now, in my testimony, I outlined
That's definitely not the reporting that I've seen. You
Well,
guys
US
are
News and
ranked
World
number
Report.
7.
U.S.
You guys
News
are
and
ranked
World
number
Report,
7.
you can see that study.
All right, moving on. Councilman Mendelson.
Oh, we got that clip from Rashida Tlaib, too. What's going on here? For the second day in a row, Rashida Tlaib has a mental breakdown in Congress and gets into a screaming match with Byron Donalds. Gunter Eagleman says this needs to go viral. It shows just how insane Democrats are.
Regards to, but I think it's important, Mr. Chair, just like in D.C., home rule was one out of black freedom struggle in the fight for civil rights. We can't be passive right now. So nobody over there should take anything we say so personally as if we're attacking them. No, we're attacking a process. We're not attacking people here. And I think it's really important. We need to stand up against this fascist takeover. That's not a bad word. It's a fact. And here in D.C. and across the country, it is so incredibly important, Mr. Chair, that this committee does not allow rhetoric that defames or paints Washington, D.C. in a way that you all haven't really truly seen. You're just reading it. No, you're just reading it or something off of some.
Will the gentlelady yield to a question?
Yeah, I think it's really important.
Will the gentlelady
No, I
yield?
don't yield. I don't even have time. I can tell you.
Your time's expired.
It is expired, but Mr. Chair.
But
you all live
like
here, and you're not telling people the beautiful parts that you do see in our nation's capital. And no, it's just wrong how we're doing.
Chairman, I think it's insane that the gentlelady doesn't have an argument, but she's going to refer to me and some of my colleagues. We were from the Third Reich. This is insane.
You're going to look at 14, 15-year-olds as a bunch of criminals?
It's insane.
No,
Do I look like a member of the Third Reich to you, Ms. Tlaib? Is that what I look like to you?
You're the one taking your voting card.
Is that what you think? Is that what you think? Is that what you think?
No, that's unethical.
I think it's radical and I think it's insane. And I'll respect everything that you say. But to say something like that to myself and a lot of my colleagues is way out of line. It's way out of line. It's way out of line.
Regular order, Mr.
Way out of line.
Regular order.
That's okay. But it's okay, right?
That is not how it goes.
It's okay, right?
You hold yourself accountable before you talk about
Hold
Washington,
myself accountable. Hold your own self accountable. How about that? Hold your own self accountable. How about that?
Free DC and make sure you vote with your own voting card. Don't be giving it to somebody else. Regards to, but I think
Rashida Tlaib. I can't believe she's still in Congress. D.C. Council Chair Phil Mendelson struggles under Jim Jordan's questioning on allegedly reclassifying crime to fudge stats. Why not call it stealing?
Why come up with this? What's taking property without right? What's taking property without right?
Oh, that would be theft.
Why not? Well, why not call it theft? Why come up with this designation? In fact, that's what he says. He's asked the question.
Congressman, I can't
the
speak to
solution,
that
the solution
particular
from
case.
Mr. Zabowski was to come up with this TPWR, taking property without right. What is that? Taking property without right is what again?
If you're speaking to the particular charges, I can't speak to that. And as I've said several times here, I can't speak to that particular case. I think the issue is whether there is
I'm asking a simple question. You have a classification for crime called taking property without right. What does that mean? What does that mean?
It means just what it said, if that's what the crime is.
Well, why not call it? I mean, what would a normal person call taking property without right?
Are we talking about what the criminal code and the specific
No, I'm just
crimes
talking
are?
about that statement that you have that's grown 500% in the last several years, that specific category of crime. I'm just wondering what does that exactly mean?
So if we look at collateral data such as ShotSpotter, we know that gunshots are down 29% from 23
Taking
to
property
24.
without right was the question. What does that mean?
I've already answered you, sir.
And what'd you say again?
I said that if you're speaking to a particular offense in our criminal code, I cannot speak.
Oh, shut up. It's word games, man. All of it. If you got value for this report, tap subscribe. My final thought is next. This is what Democrat leadership looks like. A city drowning in crime while officials play word games and cook the stats. Jim Jordan caught Mendelson red-handed manipulating crime categories to hide the truth. Glenn Grothman asked about broken families. They shrugged. Nancy Mace had to waste time asking what a woman is while carjacking spike. The hypocrisy breathtaking. Mendelson voted to defund police and called them when protesters showed up at his mansion. He mocked the National Guard as bored while citizens begged for protection. Meanwhile, Kash Patel delivered facts. 23,000 violent felons arrested, double last year. When Democrats claimed America was less safe, he torched them with data. Then came the knockout to Swalwell. I call BS on your entire career. Memphis residents are begging for Trump's help while D.C. burns. So here's the question. Should failing city leaders face federal intervention? Yes or no? What city should be next on the list? Let's have a conversation in the comments below. And if you want to support the Next News Network, hit that merch shop down below, shop.nextnewsnetwork.com.